All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to be in the who knows what weight division, the 135, 140, or 147 weight division, where there was a very interesting exchange taking place between Devin, the Dream Haney, who will be fighting Regis Prograis on December 9th. For Regis Prograis' WBC 140-pound championship. Now, many people are acting like this fight is already over and talking about what Devon Haney is going to do next. And Devin actually responds in a way to something that was kind of shocking to me. Like, okay, if that's the case, do it. And I'm going to talk about what that is, man, and I'll believe it when I see it type thing. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135, 140 and 147 pound division, where Devon Haney has been called out by Gervonta Davis. And my understanding is that they responded that they will fight Gervonta Davis at either 135 pounds or 140 pounds. But Devon Haney makes a statement about even though he moved up to 140 pounds, that making 140 pounds for him is still not easy. A commentator then on Twitter responds to Devon Haney and says, well, then why don't you go up to 147 pounds and fight people your own size? Devon says, don't worry, I'm going to be there soon. Which brings into question something that has been almost impossible to talk about, but yet obvious and blaring in people's face at the same time, which is what will Devon Haney really do at 147, considering that the real boogeyman is in that weight class. And that guy's name is Jaron Boots Ennis. Now, before I get into the details of it, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you are a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. It really makes a big difference to the channel. Thank you to everybody, man. Thank you to Matty Yole. Thank you to Barbara D. Thank you to Deborah Booker. Thank you to Mr. Pragmatic and Paul Carrick and everybody else, man. Shout out again to my guy, Kamal Oz. This has supported the channel through thick and thin. Thank you guys so very much. But let's get into this because, look, man, if everything that leaves Devon Haney's mouth comes true, Devon Haney is going to be the greatest fighter of all time. And at this point in time, he's really has achieved a lot in the sport. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer yet. I think that is just, I think that's a lot of hyperbole, just not a little bit of hyperbole, a lot of hyperbole. But man, he definitely has a big springboard and a lot of things that you can, well, actually one big thing that you can point on to his resume that is an exceptional accomplishment, and that is becoming the undisputed champion at 135 pounds. Devon Haney has been talking about a fight with Gervonta Davis for a long time, even though I don't think they've really been doing anything about it, not because they couldn't do it, not because they didn't want to do anything about it, just because they couldn't do anything about it because he's been tied up in fights for multiple fight contracts, different networks, all kind of different stuff. Now, Gervonta Davis is saying that when he gets back next year, he's more than likely going to take a tune-up because he's been out of the ring for a while. So he's going to take another tune-up. And after that, he's going for Shakur Stevenson and Devon Haney. Devon Haney's father, my understanding says that Devon is willing to go down to 135 to fight Gervonta Davis, something that he will have to do if he wants to make that money. I'm almost positive of it. But in response, he says to somebody saying that, after Devin says 140 pounds is difficult to make, why don't you move up to 147? And he said, I'm going to be there soon, bucko. Which brings up my question. If you cannot make, first of all, he shouldn't be at 135. Because Devin Haney's not a 135 pounder. He's not been a 135 pounder in years. The weigh in, the way that he looked in at the weigh-in for the George Kambosos 2 is absolutely positively skeletal. And it's absolutely just, he's clearly not that size of fighter and has spent several years just not really even beating him up, but winning fights convincingly against some guys, not Lomachenko. Even though he really doesn't belong in that weight class. It was up there against Regis Prograis in a face-off, and he looked like he outweighed Regis Prograis by 30 pounds. And Regis Prograis is a career-long 140-pounder. This man, he's 5'8". I think he's around 5'8". My understanding is that to get down, he had to get rid of 24 pounds to get down to 135. So he's walking around at around 160, something like 160, something like that. Or he rehydrated 24 pounds after weighing in at 135. So he's walking into the ring at almost 160. So he's walking into the ring right around the same weight class as Jaron Ennis. Now, this is where I'm saying if Devin Haney become undisputed at 135, win a championship at 140, go down to 135 and beat Devin Haney, but beat Gervonta Davis, and then go up to fight for a welterweight championship, which by the time that takes place should firmly be in the hands of Jaron Boots Ennis. Hey man, you can definitely write a ticket to that man's Hall of Fame career. But I got to tell you at the same time that this is one of the things that are really when people talk about boxing being corrupt and boxing being a fraud and things like that. This weight class thing and the ability for people to really and truly be fighting 20 pounds, 25 pounds above their weight division because of whatever reason or whatever mechanism they use to drain that weight off of them. Man, it doesn't really give you a real good idea of who should be fighting who. If Devin Haney's having a hard time making 140 and Jaron Ennis says he has no difficulty making 147, and these guys are roughly the same size, even though clearly Jaron Ennis is a little taller. But then we'll see really what Devin Haney is, man, where you have same kind of thing where Terrence Crawford showed improved at 147 pounds after he was at 140, then went down to 135, and then went back up to 140, then went to 147 pounds. And man, if I had my druthers really and truly, I would get rid of the day before weigh in and make a same day weigh in. So we can get competitive fights with fighters that belong in the same weight class. You don't have guys playing, you don't have people, and I'm not just saying Devin Haney is doing this. There's a lot of fighters that are playing games with their weight, guys that are clearly 2 weight divisions up from where they should be, and fighting guys that are coming up. Like one of the biggest names that comes to mind for me is Emanuel Navarrete from who fights for Top Rank, that is now a 130-pound champion, who was 126 and 122-pound fighter when he fought Isaac Dogbay. Isaac Dogbay was like 5 inches shorter. He was completely muscled up, so his height and weight ratio was different, right? He's the height of a guy that he's the height and the length and the reach of a guy that would be fighting at 115 pounds, but he's at 118 pounds fighting a guy that is probably walking in the ring at 150 pounds, and he gets mollywopped out there by the guy. So, when people talk about kind of the fraudulent aspect of boxing, this is one of the things, man. Just please, I know they will never do it because now they will have ceremonial weigh-ins so that people don't have to see that the guy is having incredible difficulties making weight and having to weigh in 3-4 times. The whole thing is ridiculous to me. But if Devin can do that, man, that's one heck of a thing. Go up there and fight Jaron Ennis. I think he'll lose, and I think he'll lose horrifically, but you never know, man. He could get stronger, get faster, like people do nowadays as they move up multiple weight classes. That's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.